Hello everyone and welcome on this new weekly market analysis video from Xtreme Trader. This is Salah speaking. Before we start, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and kindly leave a comment and share the video. Also, please don't forget to join our free channel of Telegram to receive all updates about these signals that you are receiving here on YouTube. Here is our free of cost channel, Xtreme Trader Signals, and you can also find the link in the description below of this video. So, first of all, let's now start analyzing the EURUSD. So this was, my friends, actually my signal to buy the EURUSD last week. And as you can see, it has actually been activated. It was an accurate entry. It was a sniper entry, as we can see, buying from 1.135. And the EURUSD has went in over 140 pips of profit before falls back all the way right here. Right now running in around 40 pips of profit. So overall, it was an excellent signal from Xtreme Trader. However, let's now see what we can do next with the EURUSD. First of all, I would like to delete the old signal, but we are still looking to buy the pair, and I will explain why. First of all, let's now go to the weekly chart. So as you guys know already, our style here in Xtreme Trader is to always analyze the market based on the weekly chart and daily chart to confirm the direction. After that, we will switch to the smaller time frame, such as 4 hour or even 1 hour, to find the entry. So again, let's now first head to the weekly chart. So based on the weekly chart, what I can see right here is an actual bullish breakout from this long-term resistance trend line, as we can see. Since 2008, the market actually has formed this resistance trend line. Then again, recently back in 2021, August 2021 has also been respected, and I think here also 2024 we can see the market has also been respecting this area of a previous resistance trend line. So we finally have here the bullish breakout and actually the retest of this level and the creation of a new support trend line exactly on the same level of a broken resistance trend line. All of that indicates a highly I can say this, a strong rejection or a decline from the bearish breakout below this level. That's why we can see the EURUSD reversing here sharply from this level. However, what happened last 2 weeks is we had here inverted hammer. This candle actually, guys, is actually a good sign that the market right now is getting ready for the bearish fall. But instead, the EURUSD kept rising. Why? The DXY is actually getting weaker right now. The dollar is actually getting weaker due to the recent actions happening in the White House and the geopolitical reasons we are seeing right now, and the trading war. All of that adding more pressure on the US dollar indicates that the pair is actually going to continue the rise, supported by the weakness of the US dollar. So again, the price action here has failed entirely, and as you can see, the market just kept rising, and right now we can actually expect more rise to happen. Let's now head to the daily chart. Alright, so now here on daily chart, what we can see right here is actually a bullish breakout from that channel, as we can see, just like that. So here again we had a channel, support trend line, resistance trend line. It was bouncing here. Then due to the strong bullish momentum, the EURUSD has instantly made the bullish breakout from that channel. So that means that we are actually waiting for this pair to fall down a little bit more and here retest a certain level, retesting the broken level of a resistance trend line, and creates here a support trend line, and afterward it will continue the rise. So saying that, let's now head to the 4-hour time frame to define our entry. Alright, so we actually have agreed that the EURUSD seems to be bullish for the upcoming week. However, if we look carefully right now and just simply zoom out like this, based on the 4-hour time frame, now we can see clearly that we had here also a support trend line, as we can see. Check this out. So meaning the market is actually respecting so far this level of a support trend line. Again, we're having a very strong bullish momentum, and that means that the EURUSD actually has a chance to exceed our previous entry to buy at 1.136 and actually fall a little bit more down right here exactly at 1.132, and hopefully it will actually continue respecting this level of a support trend line, and then after that it will continue the bounce and continue the rise. But why am I saying that? Let me just explain to you. If we just simply apply the Fibonacci retracement right here, let me just show it to you, just like that. As you can see, just to be precise, right now the EURUSD has just finally made here the bullish breakout from Fibonacci 61.8, and as you can see in the past, the market has actually entirely been ranging on this level, but finally here we have the actual bullish breakout happening right here. So therefore, the market actually has a chance to visit the Fibonacci 50 for one more time, respecting this level of a support and the key level of a support, as we can see right here at 1.132, and after that it will most likely continue the rise. So that being said, the EURUSD most likely will continue the rise until it reaches the highest level of a real resistance right here, as you can see at 1.147, which means the market actually has a chance to continue the rise to another 144 pips. Hopefully it's going to be in profit, and a safe zone that in this case shouldn't actually be ranging lower than the bottom of the support right here at 1.126, which means our safe zone will be ranging for around 61 pips against 147 pips of profit. And that will be all for the EURUSD. Let's now head to the Pound USD. So we actually have taken long time enough with the EURUSD, so I will move right now faster with the other pairs. So right now, as you can see, this was my signal to buy the Pound USD last week at 1.3048, but this signal has sadly never been triggered, and as we can see, the pair has went in over 126 pips, but again, it hasn't been triggered. So now what's next with the Pound USD? Now deleting the old signal. Again, weekly chart right here, as we can see, my friends, shows us that the Pound USD has finally here, as we can see, made the strong bullish breakout right here from the resistance at 1.341, and right here we can see the creation, of course, of a new support. And again, the price action here indicated for a bearish reversal, but instead the pair just kept rising. So therefore, we are actually expecting from the Pound USD to actually continue the rise, also considering that we had here also a broken level of a resistance trend line, as we can see right here, exactly just like that. And even from this level, as we can see right here, all of that says that the Pound USD has just finally made here the bullish breakout from this level. I'm just trying to align my lines here actually. I forgot actually I'm on the weekly chart. Sorry guys, forgive me. Right here exactly, yes, like that. So here we had the resistance trend line number 1, number 2, number 3, and finally here we have the bullish breakout happened, and right here we have the new creation of a support trend line. So moving now to the daily chart. Now again we can see here also the retest of the resistance, as we can see at 1.343. So the resistance right here has already been retested and created here a new level of a support, which means again Pound USD is going to continue the rise. And by simply looking at the support trend lines, if I just switch to the 4-hour time frame, and right now we can see here the real level of a support trend line, as you can see, my friends, ignoring the fake breakout. Look at that. This is really interesting. So right here we have, of course, a real level of a support trend line number 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, a fake breakout, and then another respecting of that level of a real support, as we can see right here, or actually a support trend line. So the Pound USD actually has a chance to fall down a little bit more and retest the same level of a broken resistance, which was also a real level of a support, and from there we can consider buying the Pound USD again, which means, sorry about that, I received a phone call. However, the Pound USD, my friends, will continue the fall to reach that support right here at 1.343, which means we have to wait for the pair to fall to another 94 pips before we can consider rebuying it. However, back now to daily chart to find our take profit level, which most likely right now this time is going to be actually at the highest level of a resistance right here at 1.374. But why right there? There should be a reason, right? Of course there is a reason. We have here, of course, a broken level of a support trend line, as we can see, just like that. Check this out. So right here, the supported trend line, the broken support trend line, most likely right now is getting a retest finally from that broken level of a support trend line with this bearish breakout candle. So meaning the Pound USD most likely will continue the rise to retest that broken level of a support trend line to create a resistance trend line. Makes sense? I think so. Therefore, again, Pound USD to be bought at 1.343, targeting the resistance at 1.374, expecting around 314 pips profit with this signal, and a safe zone that in this case shouldn't be ranging lower than the previous level of a support right here at 1.334, ranging for around 82 pips only. That was our signal for the Pound USD. And again, my friends, just a reminder, the take profit level might not seem so realistic for some of you, but actually I remember a few months ago we have sent a signal to buy the Pound USD with 500 pips of profit, and it actually went quite well. However, let's now head to the AUDUSD. Alright, so AUDUSD actually we have been avoiding recently because the market is actually ranging a lot, as we can see right here. It's not really our recommended market at all, but however we still have to trade it, and I believe here we have a structure that we can actually understand. So based on daily chart, what we can see right here is a support trend line, as we can see like that, being respected. So finally actually we have here somehow a structure that we can rely on, which means the AUDUSD, since it's actually ranging a lot on this area, it actually has a chance to fall a little bit more down and respect the same level of a support trend line, because it actually has been doing that the entire time, ignoring of course this big ass fake breakout. However, if we look at the left side, we can see clearly that we had here also the lowest level of a real support, exactly right here at 0.644. So therefore, AUDUSD has a chance to fall a little bit more, retesting the support trend line plus respecting the support level right here at 0.644, and after that continue the rise. So therefore, and since the pair is actually ranging a lot, we will not actually continue buying for a long time, only till the market reach the highest level of a resistance where it actually has been ranging from, which means we are looking for around 96 pips of profit only, and the safe zone that in this case shouldn't actually be ranging lower than the support right here at 0.640, because if it reaches this level, it means that it actually has made the bearish breakout from that long-term support trend line, which means our safe zone will be ranging for around 40 pips only, against 95 pips of profit. Let's now move to the USDCAD. USDCAD signal from the last week has indeed actually went in the right direction, but sadly hasn't been triggered. So now what we can do next with this pair? First of all, let's now delete the old signal, and let's now start from scratch by looking to the weekly chart. So again, weekly chart here shows a very strong rejection happening at the resistance level at 1.395, and as you can see, the dollar is getting weaker. The USDCAD is actually having an impact by that, and as we can see, a very strong bearish fall happening right now. Even last weekly candle, my friends, on the USDCAD, this candle right here usually is trusted for a bullish reversal if it's spotted on a support zone on the bigger time frames. What happened later is USDCAD just kept falling, and that indicates a very strong pressure from the bears to continue pushing the market to continue the fall, and by that we're actually expecting from the USDCAD to continue the fall till it reach the support right here exactly. Let me just be precise, right here exactly at 1.359, which means USDCAD still has another over 100 pips more to go. So where exactly we can start shorting this pair? Let's now head to the daily chart. Alright, so now daily chart here shows me that the market actually has been able to respect this level of a resistance trend line, as you can see, all the way, like that. So that means that right now the USDCAD seems like it's going to make a small reversal. However, I'm not expecting it to be able to exceed that level of a resistance trend line. Most likely it will reverse here and afterward continue the fall. So that being said, let's wait for the USDCAD to rise a little bit more to reach the key level of a support right here exactly at 1.375. Why? First of all, here it was the strong key level of a support, which actually has faced here a fake breakout, which also aligns with the resistance trend line right here. So meaning if the market will be able to reach this level, it will actually be under the pressure of the resistance trend line. But more importantly, if we look at the left side, right here exactly, we can see the real level of a resistance being respected all the way. So a lot of pressure on the USDCAD at 1.375. That's going to be our desired level to start buying the market. Let's now head to the 4-hour time frame to define our entry precisely. Actually, there is nothing to be done on the 4-hour time frame. We just have to wait for the market to rise to another like 60 pips before we can start shorting it, targeting around 162 bips of profit, and the safe zone in this case shouldn't actually be ranging higher than the peak of the previous level of a resistance and the lowest level of a support right here, and the resistance as well at 1.384, which means our safe zone will be ranging for around 84 pips against 164 pips of profit. That will be all for the USDCAD. Let's now head to the USDJPY. So Look at that. I'm so happy. USDJPY finally, after 5 weeks of failing analyzing this pair, has finally won. Even that entry wasn't really the best one. I'm having actually a hard time finding the entry for the USDJPY, but overall, the direction in general, most of the time, is correct. So, however, I will work more on my entry and hopefully it will get actually better. However, USDJPY has went in over 173 pips of profit. So now what's going to happen next with this pair? First of all, let's now delete the old signal and let's now head to the weekly chart. So right here, weekly chart shows me that the USDJPY is actually still facing here the strong pressure of a support, as we can see, and more importantly is this price action right here, the inverted hammer, which actually a good sign for a bullish reversal if being spotted on a support zone. And as you can see, the pair finally has actually obeyed this candle, and as you can see, the next candle was bullish as well. However, I'm actually not expecting from the USDJPY to remain bullish for the upcoming week. I'm actually expecting a neutral channel, to be honest. There is a lot of pressure here on the support zone right here at 141.836, and also USDJPY, based on the weekly chart, is actually here facing the pressure of a resistance trend line, as you can see. Actually, let's now head to the daily chart to see that. Here, now daily chart here shows me a resistance trend line, as you can see right here. So most likely the USDJPY actually gonna continue the rise and reverse exactly at that level of a resistance trend line, and most likely will actually be ranging right here on this level. So we have right now here a triangle, as you can see, and the USDJPY most likely will be ranging in this triangle for the upcoming week. So however, we are still looking to short the USDJPY for this week. How and where? Let's now head to the 4-hour time frame. Alright, so now here the 4-hour time frame shows me that here we had, of course, a real level of a resistance. Exactly. Let me just be precise and accurate as much as possible, my friends. 1 second. I need to be sure that I'm actually giving you the right analysis. And let me just be sure, just to review it carefully. Exactly, yes, right here, precisely at 146.128. So as we can see, the USDJPY actually has greater chances right now to reverse at this level of a resistance trend line and create here the third attempt, also supported by the very strong key level of a real resistance right here in the past, and also a support at 146.128. And also, if we just zoom in like that and see the last structure that we have right here, if we check the Fibonacci on this structure like that, as you can see right here, it's almost right here at Fibonacci 23.6, as we can see. That, in my opinion, gonna be the best level to start selling the USDJPY, and afterward it will continue the fall toward Fibonacci 50 right here, which was the nearest level of a key resistance and a support as well. So that being said, let's wait for the USDJPY to rise to another 125 pips before we can start shorting it, targeting, of course, the real level of a support at 144.072, aiming around 204 pips of profit, and a safe zone that shouldn't be ranging higher than the previous level of a resistance right here, exactly at 147.109. Now, someone might ask me, can we buy the USDJPY until it reach that level? In my opinion, it's not really the smartest option. Buying the signal until it reaches the entry is not something recommended at all, and I never advised it, because the market actually has a chance to continue the fall instantly without retesting that level of a resistance. Also, don't forget that we have here also a resistance trend line, and as we can see, the market actually has closed exactly on the same level of a resistance trend line, which means there is a greater chances that the USDJPY will actually open by Monday morning with a bearish fall instantly and reach our target. So therefore, please do not buy until the USDJPY reach our sell. Just wait, be patient, and wait for it to reach our entry. Then you can start shorting. Let's now move to the USDCHF. So now USDCHF, as you can see, was really a perfect signal from the last week. It actually has been triggered 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, 2 times. Yes, 2 times. Right here, the first time, and the second time right here. So again, USDCHF signal from the last week remains the same. We can expect a pullback to happen and the market to be ranging in our sell level. However, this signal, my friends, still remains valid, and I'm actually still expecting from the USDCHF to continue the fall to another 100 pips to reach our take profit level. So that was everything, my friends, for this analysis. I really hope it's gonna be profitable for everyone. And again, a last reminder, don't forget to join our free channel of Telegram to receive all updates about these signals. And also for the occasion of the Eid al-Adha al-Mubarak, we are actually having a good discount for 20% on all of our VIP signals packages. So grab the opportunity, because today is the last day of this offer. So until then, my friends, I hope that was informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.